Hello folks, this is Pee Wee. Welcome to Pee Wee's World. Well, this is it. This is what I traded my 2012 Raider on and my Stratoliner, a 2010 model. Just the hypocrisy couldn't stay with me any longer. Had to sell them and trade them for a brand new 2014 Harley Davidson FLHX Street Glide. Now this is a custom paint for 2014. It's a factory production paint, just a custom color. Cost a little extra, not a whole lot more. It's the new Project Cost More, as I like to call it, but it's the Project Rushmore that Harley Davidson's hyped up all about. It's got some good innovations. I'll go over them with you here in just a few minutes. Figure I'll do a quick walk around, familiarize yourself with what the bike looks like. So this is brand new 2014. It rides nice. It's a nice bike. I wouldn't have traded them other two for it if I didn't like it so much. But I've had Harleys for 17 years now, and I was catching some static from my buddies, of course, but that wasn't the whole deal. It's just me having two Harleys in the garage and then riding them imports, and everything I wear is Harley stuff, so I'm very pro Harley. You know, it's kind of funny. I wasn't ashamed of them other bikes. Those other bikes are great, but this is a Harley. If you've never owned one or haven't ever ridden one for any length of time, you probably don't understand what I'm talking about. But these motorcycles don't need any explanation at all. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to make excuses for it. There's nothing like a Harley. You can ride a lot of imitations, and you can make them pretty nice and make them sound good and look pretty good and all that stuff. Yeah, they might have more power. They're a whole lot faster, I'll give it that. But yeah, they weren't Harleys. But this here's a Harley. I like this one pretty good. I think I'm gonna like it as much as I do my Heritage, maybe, if not a little bit more down the road. I'm a little short, so it's a little tough on me to ride it. Stopping at stop signs and stuff, I don't notice it riding it. It's not much different than the Heritage. Now the Stratoliner, it was a bigger bike. The Stratoliner was about 3 or 4 inches longer than this bike, and I could tell a difference in my feet. My feet would come off of the floorboards. Check out these new wheels. But yeah, on the Stratoliner, my feet were not planted good enough on the floorboards. I was stretched, and I was always stretching to hit the brake lever and stuff, as I'm only 5'2". This bike I'm completely comfortable sitting on. It weighs about 20 pounds more than the Stratoliner did, but it's got a 6-gallon gas tank on it. It's pretty big. But one of the new features, of course, is the fairing. I'll get around and show you the front of the fairing here in just a second. I'm going to show you something I have to do to my bikes just to be able to put the kickstand up and down. I have to make me a little kickstand deal. As you can see there, where I can reach it because I'm short. My foot couldn't get the kickstand up, the side stand up, with the floorboard in my way. I really had to struggle. And then being tippy-toed on the bike, we really made it tough. But go up here to the Project Rushmore stuff, or the Cost More, like I like to say. There's a vent here on the fairing. It's like an air scoop. It opens and closes with one touch. But when you're up on the freeway, and it does work, even with that short windshield on it, I wear glasses, and when you're riding, you don't get no wind buffeting on your face like you used to do, even with the windshield on a motorcycle. This here kind of eliminates that. It makes the air turbulence go a little bit different direction, so it don't all end up right on your face. It's pretty neat. And another thing was the air cleaner. The engine's got the high output 103 with cams. The air cleaner's open in the front. It's pretty cool to look at. It reminds me of the late 60s and early 70s on the old shovel heads. Had a big screen on the front of them that opened up. So it's kind of neat. The engine's not much different than my 96 on my 2009 Harley. This one is 103. Transmission shifts about the same. It's a 6-speed. Here's the really cool thing about these bags. One touch. and just to open them. So easy versus the older Harleys. A real nice deal. Bags are a little bigger. Man, this is just so awesome here, where it used to be able to fight with the bags. That's all there is to it. It's just so nice. Now I done put mufflers on it. These are Clockworks mufflers. They were fiberglass wrapped. I pulled the baffles out, which had 3 screws on each one. I highly recommend these mufflers. There was 3 screws on each one. I could pull the baffle right out, cut a couple little welding lines that went around it with a pair of tin snips, and it was like a welding cable is what it was. Probably about the size of fishing line, I'd say. It was just wrapped around them, so you just cut that off and unwrap your wrap and take it off. Now these are slightly louder than stock. When I put them on, it was almost as quiet as stock, which is pretty quiet. Now these are a little bit louder. They got a deeper note, nice rumble, but it won't overpower it. When I'm riding down the road, I can still hear the stereo just fine. Nothing on this side has changed much. Got the 4-point docking hitch. I can put a sissy bar and a backrest on it and a luggage rack all at one time, or just ride with the sissy bar and backrest, or just a luggage rack. That is going to be my future parts to buy for it. Right now money's a little tight as I just purchased this thing. I'll go ahead and start it up here in just a second. You'll have to check out this radio and stuff. It's pretty neat. This here works with one touch. Trying to get some stuff out here for all you people that's interested in a 2014. Now, I didn't get the $1,700 optional radio. I got the 4.6 boombox, which is pretty slick. It's got a couple nice things going on with it. You push this open, you can hook your iPod or iPhone up to it. Goes right in the interface with the radio. You ride down the road and that thing's out of your way. You don't even have to open it up to touch it. All your controls work, everything on it, and it even displays on the display what you got going on. That's what's so cool. The gauges are neat this year. I love the white back gauges. The paint's beautiful, man. I love the metallic in the paint. Pretty excited about the bike. Rides out good. Well, without further ado, I think we'll start this thing up and let you get a listen to it, and then I'll go through the radio a little bit for you. Alright, now I'll go around and start it up for you guys. Now you get to see the infamous Pee-wee. Then you will find. That's what we're talking about right there. And on this radio, the safety warning screen always comes up. We've heard the motorcycle enough. Now I'll turn it off so we can play with this radio just for a minute. There we go. The warning always shows up. So we turn that warning off. Now we get to see the face of the radio. It's hard to see with the sun right in my eyes. So let me get this here set up where we can see a little better. Anyway, you can go up here and change channels. do. You got a menu button you can go to, and it shows your seek, your scan, and your RDBS. That's your, when you're riding down the road, it makes your radio come up or down. And then there's our bass and treble settings and our speed volume settings. We'll go back up the exit here. Yeah. And now we can go and switch channels anytime you want. Like you can go to 107.7 or over to 95.7, up to 91. Whichever one you go to, you just click and it stays right there. I'll go to 95.7 just for a second. Hope you can see this. That's pretty slick. The old radios did the same thing. Just the screen was totally different on the older Harleys. Did the same exact stuff. Now with the boom system, that ain't even a third of the way up. This thing will rock. But with the boom system, you get 25 watts per channel with an Harman Kardon radio. Now the speakers are bigger than the speakers in the past, and you can change them to the 6.5-inch speakers without altering your fairing. You just buy the bigger boom speakers and put in it. Of course, they always want to sell you something else. That's why it's called Project Costmore or Rushmore. Costmore or Rushmore. Which one is it? I'll leave that up for you all. The Project Rushmore stuff is pretty cool. As you can see, I've only got 219 miles on it. It had 191 miles on it when the dealer came to my house 100 miles away. They're 95.7 miles from my house. They came here with a truck, trailer, picked up my motorcycle, took it all the way to Lexington. I live in Louisville. Did the recall on it and brought it back to me in an enclosed trailer and had it back in my driveway. They picked it up on Wednesday. They had it back here on Friday. They would have had it back on Thursday, but they called me and asked if they could get somebody else's to them first. I said I didn't care. I had other motorcycles. I wasn't going to be riding anyway. The weather wasn't very good for us here, so I didn't miss the motorcycle at all. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed with this motorcycle. Hanging back here, get back to it again. Yeah, this is pretty nice. I do like them mufflers. Like I said, once again, they're made by Clockworks. They're pretty nice. They're very inexpensive for mufflers for a big Harley. They're $310. That ain't bad at all. They're regularly $379, but you can go on Amazon.com and you can get them for $60 off, and they'll mail them to your house. I had them in 4 days, so I ordered them. 4 days later, they showed up. Now, when you get these bikes, they're filthy. Mine had fingerprints all over the wheels, greasy marks all over the wheels. I raised it up today and polished my wheels, polished the edges. They weren't near that shiny. Just used some aluminum polish and polished them. And the armor on the little edge of the tires. It does have low profile tires. 19-inch on the front. The new 19-inch wheel. The bike really handles good. It's got 49mm forks this year, as a matter of fact. It's another improvement. They had 41s on them last year. Now they got 49mm. The next thing I want to do is they make little things to go underneath your bat wings right about here that are your wind deflectors, and they're adjustable. I'm going to put a set of them on it to block a little more wind, and then you can open up them when you want it, like on hot days. And I think I'm going to put rear engine guards on it, like I said, the rear sissy bar and backrest, and we'll put hot toppers over every nut and bolt like I did on my other motorcycles. And I think that'll be just about all my things I plan on doing for this bike, because there's not much more I need to do. I'm going to put a set of fog lights on it, of course. But I think at that point in time I will be done with it. I plan on riding the heck out of it. But it looks like it's going to be a good motorcycle. It's a great riding machine, good running machine. It's got plenty of power. It didn't have the power of the Stratoliner or the Raider, but man, it's a nice motorcycle. If somebody's a Harley person, or any of those out there that want a touring bike but don't want to don't want all the extra baggage space of the tour pack, I think this is the machine you'd be interested in. This is a nice bike. Anyway, I'll get off here and let y'all get back to whatever you're doing. Once again, it's Pee-wee. Welcome to Pee-wee's World. Thank you for watching all my videos. Greatly appreciate it. See you guys.